the side effects. And I was like, I threw them back at her, and I was like, I'd rather be fucking depressed. So anyways, I went off Prozac. All right, so I'm a Gen Xer and I'm a mom. I'm a Gen X mom. I'm in my 50s, and parenting has changed so much since my parents raised me and my brothers and sisters, and I realized it right away when I brought my first kid, my newborn, in to the pediatrician. They give me a list of vaccines and a schedule. I'm not anti-vax or anything like that. It's a little overwhelming, the list, though. They're like, your son's gonna need a hepatitis B vaccine and an HPV vaccine. I said, whoa, doc, my baby's abstinence. I don't know what kind of a player you think you're dealing with here, but he's a week old. So I think we can hold off on. Besides, I'm a Gen Xer. We built up most of our immunity drinking from the garden hose. You know how many antibodies are in that thing? We didn't need a bunch of shots in our arm. We just needed to put our mouths on the end of a rusty nozzle a couple times a week, and now none of us have peanut allergies. Just saying. Might need to look into that a little more. I have 3 kids. I have 3 boys. I wanted 2 kids, but I had twins on the second, and the hospital refused to take one back. Like such sticks about it. Super strict something about separating twins. So now I have 3. And let me tell you, these boys, they're growing into very, very, very big boys. Their dad, my ex-husband's like 6'4", he's jacked. And you guys, you'll see a big guy, but you only see him like after he's already made, right? I'm witnessing the becoming of 2 13-year-old boys becoming into giant men, right? It's kind of like watching Bruce Banner turn into the Incredible Hulk really slowly. They're like lying in their beds, they've got hunger pangs, they've got growing pains, they're like, clutching their limbs. Mom, I got another growing pain. It hurts. It hurts. And we're hungry. We're hungry. We need something to eat. Bring us something to eat. I just open the door and throw food in and close it so I don't draw back a bloody stump. They're like, Hope, need food. I literally cannot feed them enough. I realized I was ordering out too much when Uber Eats figured out my custody schedule. It's kind of demoralizing. I realized that Uber was on to me with the notifications. Like, they started out normal, you know, like pizza tonight. Yeah, I might be in the mood for pizza. And then last week, one of them popped up and said, it's Taco Tuesday, treat yourself. The boys are with their dad and they don't like tacos anyway? What the fuck? Uber knows everything, you guys. Watch out, they know. And my boys, they'll fight to the death over whether or not we're going to order like pizza or Chinese or Mexican. They'll go back and forth, pizza, Chinese. One of them will have the other one pinned up against the wall. And I give up. I'm like, I give up. I'll order both. I order both. It's 2 simultaneous Uber Eats orders going on at once because I'm a fucking pushover. And Uber knows it because by the time I hit send on the second order, the notification just popped up and said, pussy. I fucking know Uber. Shut up. Like, Uber knows what it's like to be a mom. When I was a kid, my parents, if we wanted something sweet to eat and we had nothing in the house, they would say, well, why don't you go ahead and make yourself a little bowl of bread, milk, and sugar? Anybody ever had bread, milk, and sugar for dessert? Only one fucking person. Well, let me describe it to you in detail. It's exactly what it sounds. It's literally a piece of bread, you pour a little milk, and you put a little sugar on it. I feel like I get sad eyes on me when I tell this joke. Like, it's okay. It's okay to grow up poor. If I served my sons bread, milk, and sugar for dessert, there better be about 25 more fucking ingredients in that dessert. Or one of them's gonna Rob Reiner me so fast it's not even funny. Yeah. Ever since I wrote that joke, I want to be like too soon. Apparently it's not, because it's one of the biggest laughs I've gotten. So apparently my audiences are sick fucks, which is great. You don't like me, right? Okay. The way the kids are these days, it's so mind-boggling to me, because as a Gen Xer, we went out all day. We didn't come home till the streetlights came on. We were latchkey kids. That's only if your parents let you in the house when they weren't there. Thank you. My kids, I know where they are at all times. I have a tracking device on them, and they're fine with it. They take that tracking device and they put it in their pocket, and they go in and have fun. If you tried to give a Gen Xer and say, here, just take this tracking device with you, honey, I'm going to know where you are, we would throw it into the fucking Merrimack River if you had given one of those to a Gen X kid. Are you kidding me? And it's crazy because my kids track me. They'll text me and be like, what are you doing in the grocery store parking lot, Mom? I'm like, don't call me crazy, but I was thinking about buying some groceries. Now I just fuck with them. I'm just like, what am I doing in this parking lot? Well, you wanted those fancy sneakers, so Mom's got to make a buck. Right? And my twins this summer, they're hanging out with their friends and they're building a fort out in the woods, which is awesome, right? That's what Gen X did our whole lives. It's by a pond that's near their dad's house. And I rolled up one day, so I wanted to check it out. I was so impressed. I mean, these kids, they were basically constructing waterfront property, okay? These kids were dragging in 2x4s, they're hammering nails. My boyfriend's like, holy shit, this is great. Is this legal? I said, of course it's not legal. That's a reservoir. That's our drinking water. Those kids, they put in a rope swing. Those two boys over there are putting in a dock. I look next to me, my son's got a tool belt on. He goes, well, just until next week when I get to put in the boat launch. And I love it. I love this sport club, right? Because it's so good, old school fun. I cannot tell you enough about it. But first rule of Fort Club, never talk about. Second rule, yeah. Either some of you guys have never been in a Fort Club before, or you're just really good at following rules. Thank you guys, I'm Jenny Fitz. All right, hit me. Hit me with feedback.